let's talk about some of the consumer-grade printers you might find today. One of the first consumer-grade 3D printers was developed by a Dr. Adrian Boyer, and it was called the RepRap. The first version of that RepRap was called the Darwin. The Darwin was actually one of the first machines that was able to reproduce its own replacement parts. Other than the steel structure, the pieces that held them together were actually printed from the same machine. So if a piece broke, you could actually print a replacement part for it. Dr. Boyer went on to develop version 2 of his 3D printer called the Mendel. The Mendel is still a popular design today, and a lot of members of the 3D printing community favor this design of its easy construction and easy to find parts. This sparked a revolution of consumer-grade do-it-yourself 3D printers. Another version of a consumer-grade 3D printer is called the Prusa. The Prusa is designed around simplicity, a minimized, clean look to give you high accuracy and a large build platform. The Solar One Mark I uses the same similar design as the Prusa, with the advantage of it has a very large build area. The Solar One Mark I can actually print 1 cubic foot, which exceeds the limits of a lot of consumer printers these days. For our demonstrations, we are going to be using the Solar One Mark I. This printer is known as the Cube. The Cube was designed with the intent to make 3D printing extremely simple for the consumer. Everything from loading the plastic to printing the object is done very minimalistically. Operation of this machine is very simple with only 1 or 2 buttons. Loading the plastic was meant to be very simple by just inserting a cartridge. The downside to this is that you have to purchase the plastic directly from the Cube manufacturer, which means off-the-shelf plastic is not available for this printer. In the late 2000s, a man named Bray Pettis started a company in Brooklyn, New York called MakerBot. His idea was to bring the consumer 3D printing to the masses. The photo shown here is the MakerBot Replicator 2. This machine had gone through many iterations, starting with a version called the Cupcake, which then went on to the Thingomatic. The Thingomatic then morphed into the first version of the Replicator. All of these printers were actually made of wood. The Replicator 2 is the first metal design of its series. The Ultimaker took the Replicator and the Thingomatic's design and scaled it up, the idea being to increase its build platform to print larger objects. This is a very popular printer in the do-it-yourself community for 3D printing.